It is creative students working on lightning fast computers to produce high-end visual experiences. Things like websites, animations, graphic design projects, and video, along with some photography. Those are some of the big areas that we cover in multimedia. Basically, I like to call it all the fun stuff that you can do on the computer.
Multimedia is a class provided at Pickerington North that's been around since the 2003-2004 school year. Always changing, the class has developed exponentially since its first days. The class is an hour and a half a day for 2 years. The class gives you so much time to learn about the whole field of multimedia. Through knowledge gained in the class, many find their passions and move forward with them in their careers. A great influencer of those passions is the teacher. Mr. Ryder is one of the greatest teachers you will ever have in your schooling experience. With a passion to teach, you can see how much he cares about the success of the students and the growth of both him and the program. As the sole teacher since the beginning of the program, he continues to move this class into the future with his connection to the industry gained through his own web design freelancing. There are a total of 21 computers in the room, including Mr. Ryder's. Every computer has dual monitors, which increase productivity greatly. You don't need to constantly switch windows to complete projects. For students to complete the best projects possible, the computers are equipped with the Adobe Creative Cloud. This includes Photoshop for photo editing, Audition for audio editing, Premiere Pro for video editing, Illustrator for vector graphics, as well as many more that aren't used as much in our class. The equipment provided for students to create projects is very high quality. There are 2 types of DSLR cameras, the Canon Rebel T3i and the EOS 60D, for video and photography, a Rode video microphone, a couple of umbrella lights, video stabilizers, as well as a few basic tripods and 1 higher quality tripod. To making multimedia stand out compared to other classes, there are a number of things in the lab that contribute to a unique feeling. The Keurig machine was added in the 2016-2017 school year to replace the cappuccino machine that was there. Everyday students are able to get a hot beverage from the machine for a low price of $1. To give ambient lighting to the room, every desk is lined with LED strips. There's a master remote that Mr. Ryder has that will change the lights to different colors or fades. A mini fridge was donated a couple years ago, and it holds the same purpose as the Keurig machine. It allows the students to purchase a cold drink for just $1. Junior year of multimedia, there are 3 main categories you dive into. Starting with graphic design, you gradually go from simple to more advanced photo editing techniques in a number of different programs. Encompassed in graphic design, we learn all about photo editing, color, where to use color, and about the color wheel, tint, hue, etc. Typography, which is basically the art of text, where to put it and how to style it properly, then a few other minor areas. Next is video and photography. These 2 go closely together, obviously, because they use the same equipment. For both, you can learn the best ways to get shots and different rules that will help you create the best image. Once you get a photo, you can then use Photoshop to sharpen them up and make them perfect. For videos, you can use Premiere Pro to edit clips together and Audition to fix up any audio discrepancies. Lastly, there's web design. This is probably the largest subject junior year. There are 2 coding languages that are taught in the class which go hand in hand, HTML and CSS. Hypertext Markup Language, or HTML for short, is the most basic building block of the web. It describes and defines the content of a web page. Cascading Style Sheets, which is formerly known as CSS, is a style sheet language used for describing the presentation of a document written in a markup language. Spending a few weeks learning the basics, you learn step by step how to set everything up to properly create a working HTML document integrated with CSS. Senior year, projects begin to be a little more self-decided. While there are still a few new subjects where we are guided along, once BPA and senior project come along, the students move on to be more self-sufficient. The senior project is the final project of the class, where the students in the senior multimedia class get to choose to create any type of project over any topic. There are a lot of components that go into the final grade outside of the project created. The project itself is 40% of the grade, then the other 60% comes from the presentation, logging of progress, and the use of the mentor. Every year, the program is granted a multimedia social event. So every year, both the junior and senior class go on a trip to Magic Mountain for a day. The whole day, students can play in the arcade, play laser tag, eat pizza, and hang out with their peers. At the end, all tickets are put together to buy the biggest and best prize for the multimedia room. There's an annual tradition in the class called Multimedia Thanksgiving. Everyone is to bring in food to contribute. Mr. Ryder brings in the chicken, and students can bring in their favorite Thanksgiving dishes to share with everyone, as well as video games to pass the time.
BPA stands for Business Professionals of America. It's a really great time of year when we get to stack our skills up against the best. In competitions involving digital graphics, websites, animation, video, all kinds of fun projects to work on. I get to see students really go for it. They come in, they work hard, they enjoy working together, and they end up with something that they're really proud of.
BPA is a part of the class both years in multimedia. Since we finish up learning the basics of HTML and CSS just before the BPA season begins, junior year, Mr. Ryder has all groups create a website for the competition. Senior year, though, is when the students can compete in any category they want. Through BPA, starting at a regional level, there are conferences where teams compete and can advance further through the ranks if they have best in their category. This goes from regional to state level, then if you pass states, you move on to nationals, where you can get an all-expense paid trip to the location of that year's national conference.
I enjoyed working as a team together and building strong relationships with everyone in the class while also finding out what you're good at, what your thing is. Some people have coding, other people have graphic design or video, and it's fun to have that part in the class that people know you as, oh, this is the person I can go to for help with this.
I like the separate work time that we have. You know, where we just go off by ourselves and work on projects by ourselves and learn how to do it without having to listen to a lecture or having to listen to a smartboard all day.
The people in multimedia were really one of the best parts about the whole class. Every day I would look forward to coming in here and just talking to my friends and doing graphic design, web design, all of that, and it just really helped enhance the entire experience.
There are some tough times, but it's a school class, so that happens. But other than that, it's probably the most fun I've had.
I wanted to join multimedia because I felt that graphic design was something I didn't know much about, and I felt that it would be a very good way to build my portfolio up for colleges because I didn't know if I wanted to go to an art college yet. So this class has definitely helped me with that, and my portfolio has grown a lot and I've gotten a lot better at graphic design.
Actually, my neighbor was in multimedia about 4 or 5 years ago, and he talked to me about it pretty much every day when he came home from school, and that really influenced me to join it because it seemed like a really interesting and fun class.
I always liked working with computers and the whole graphic design part of everything. I knew multimedia was about that, and I wanted to expand my horizons and get better at the subject, so I took the class to do that.
I guess it's the goal to become an animator. I really want to become an animator so that I can make cartoons like the greats one day.
Pretty proud of the fact that students go on to very different outcomes from the program. We have students who are software engineers, some who are graphic designers, video editors, producers, and others who use multimedia in the areas that they've gone into that aren't directly related.
When we did our website editing through coding and stuff like that, I really enjoyed it and fell in love with it, and now I'm going into computer science in college.
It made me think more about what I want to do as an adult. Ultimately, I'm not going into a field being taught in multimedia, however, it has taught me a lot.
Thanks to multimedia, I actually want to do animation a lot more, because not only do I know like the kind of stuff that I'll be doing like while I'm in animation, but I'll learn the kind of people that I'll be next to when I do animation.
Ultimately, I also hear from students that they look back on their time of working on their senior project and BPA projects are the ones that typically stand out to them as those that have meant a lot to them. I'll have students who have put in a lot of extra time and extra effort and come in and work incredibly hard and are proud of the things that they've done. So hopefully it is something that is meaningful to them as they go through their high school years, and gives them a place where it's a room that they know that they're going to be safe and have fun time and know people who care about the same types of things.